business cards when you're going to
Welcome everyone. Today we have our another new episode and we will discuss on artificial intelligence in finance. We have our world famous speaker, Mr. David Smith, and Mr. Jeffrey. First, I would like to give chance Mr. David Smith.
Kelly back online.
Thanks, Sean. All right, so as I was saying, we'll keep the team updated here on the call with Sal and also Chris Mashburn.
Who do you want to speak, Sharif?
Yes, Mr. David Smith.
All right, thank you. Sharif, the topic of AI and finance is a very interesting one. There is a lot of places it could be used, a lot that we going through very different place, and really it's not just finance, but it's economics as well too. Because AI is really a very interesting technology that can be used in almost any industry, and finance is no difference. Given AI's main benefit is the ability to work with large amount of data, finance can really profit from using artificial intelligence almost more than many other industries, and is being used by many organizations already that work in banking, asset administration, stocks, insurance. So it's already beginning to use about it. For example, AI chatbots like ChatGPT can support many financial organizations communicating with their clients, communicating with their workers. AI can be used as a basis for some of the virtual representation. You call in, you talk with an artificial intelligent bot, and it can begin to direct you. It can begin to help you go through choices. Machine learning is also allows rules in trading. It lets you automate a lot of different things. It can be applied for risk administration, fraud detection, relationship management, and finance. And it has many advantages, is that it provides many different automation possibilities. It also, AI can work 24 hours a day. It can work in places where humans have to work multiple shifts to do it. And there's places where AI can replace people in certain situations, and really helps you begin to get there. But, why is AI so important there? It lets you boost productivity and cut operational expenses. Tasks that used to take a lot of time, that had a lot of viability and variability in it between different people, can now be standardized a lot more. So you can see it used in automation. For example, artificial intelligence, it's been said, can save between 70–80% of the costs connected with data entry and other tasks that are repetitive. So many corporations are producing their own AI-driven solutions to allow you to adapt and use them for years. Other areas in finance is credit decisions. The machine learning, the AI, and the risk management really give borrowers more accurate view of how it is, and banks making the decision on credit. It also uses more complicated credit scoring approaches than people-based approaches can do. So it's somebody's high-risk candidate or things. It gives them more power to go through more numbered, develop deeper models, and make personalized choices and be able to do it. It's not only advantageous for banks and finance, but many others. For example, automobile lending companies and others, to cut their costs. It's used in trading, a tremendous amount. It's used in risk management. It's used in fraud prevention. We're beginning to see personalized banking beginning to use more and more of AI, because we see AI being used to offer appropriate help while really minimizing the instance to use people in call centers. And you're seeing many voice control virtual assistants. And you're going to see this really growing and doing more in the future. But Sharif, let me use that as my initial comments and let Jeffrey talk.
Yeah, I've been not huge into finance and stuff, but AI has definitely helped me write some cool marketing articles for my brand and stuff, just in a really concise and thorough way. So yeah, I think it's gonna help people solve their finances and yeah, in loads of different ways.
Thank you. Mr. David Smith, specifically, if you give some example of the banking sector, those who utilizing artificial intelligence and getting some benefit for gaining more customers or managing their asset or financial activities.
Well, Sharif, sure, I can begin to do that. I had started doing some of that as I thought as we looked at going and looking at fraud and personalized banking and risk management, trading and credit decision and others. So let me give you some deeper examples of that then. So, for example, if I go back and look at the value of AI in finance in 2021, it is estimated to be almost $10 billion, and is expected to grow about 70% a year through 2020. But to give you some ideas, there's, for example, a whole bunch of companies producing artificial intelligence software to help make decisions on financial credit decisions. You know, having good credit makes it easier to access it, but credit is becoming more complicated as we look not only at credit cards and bank accounts, what we buy with others, but how we look at the new things going to digital currency. Digital currency has actually begun to make financial credit decisions much more complex, and it uses its software to do it. And there's many companies that do that. Arcanist, Ivana, and others are really beginning to move that way. And you know, there's multiple companies there. Another use of AI in a use case is managing financial risk. Time, it really is money in the financial world, but risk can be deadly if not given proper attention. Accurate forecasts are critical to the speed and protection of business. And so many companies in finance are turning to machine learning to create more exacting, nibble models to manage risk. They look at existing data to pinpoint trends, identify risks, ensure better information for planning. Again, there's many different companies in that area who produce products, plus all the large companies are producing their own products in that other. Trading, you heard me mention trading before. So there's a lot of companies beginning to do that. So there's a lot of them, but Sharif, I can keep going on this, but let me go ahead and give Jeffrey another chance.
Okay, Mr. Jeffrey.
Yeah.
If you want to add
Yeah.
some point regarding this technological advancement in financial sector.
Okay. I don't have much experience in the financial sector. As far as like anything professionally, I guess I could ask what how AI can help people get into that and start getting like knowledge on that part of their lives and sort of yeah. So I think a lot of people could use that information.
Okay, Professor David Smith, you can contribute now.
You're muted.
Sure, Sharif, sorry. You know, let's go back and look at some of them. Many of us trade stocks. There's mutual funds and others trading stocks. And AI is a great organization that is used there. And part of the process of using AI is called quantitative trading, is the process of analyzing the large data sets to identify patterns that can be used to make decisions, and then using real-time machine learning to see where stocks and trends are tracking towards those, and then using that to make trades and the appropriate types of trades. Is it to sell a stock short? Is it to buy? Is it to hold others? And AI is using very much on there because it can organize large, complex data sets much more faster and much more efficient than humans. And it's great. There's just, again, a lot of different companies in there. One I'm familiar with that has done well, has done others. Then you're seeing AI used in personal banking because, you know, when was the last time many of us went into the lobby of a bank? We don't anymore. We use online mobile apps. We use call centers to it. And a survey by Price Waterhouse recently said that over 41% of people wanted more personalized banking experiences online. So you see AI-driven tools, AI assistants. You see AI-driven chatbots being used a lot. You're seeing AI being used to manage even how you pay your accounts, how you set up others. I can tell you a huge place where AI has changed the entire financial industry is in fraud detection. I mean, I got an alert this morning on one of my accounts on a couple of credit card bills that they identified as potential fraud. And it's being held up now until I research them and go back to them and make sure they are correct. But AI used in fraud detection is huge and has saved billions and billions and billions of dollars for people. The same as AI and cybersecurity.
Cool.
And we're beginning to see AI used in blockchain as well, and that's going to continue. So a lot of activity in that area. So Sharif, I hope that helps.
Yeah, definitely. Professor David Smith, recently blockchain playing a major role for transparency, for financial sector transparency. So do you believe this AI and blockchain can work together for maintaining transparency and efficiency for the banking system or for the financial activities?
You're muted.
Yeah, I believe it can, but not the current version of blockchain. I think you're going to have to go into the third version of blockchain that's coming out, the next generation, to do that, to get the appropriate cybersecurity into it. And they will be not just private blockchains, but they're going to be what's called a hybrid blockchain, as we've talked about before. Because there's, even though a lot of people think blockchain is secure, the first generation really wasn't. Second generation's better, but the third generation should have a lot more security capabilities in it. And AI and blockchain can work really well together because AI's ability to read and correlate data along with blockchain's digital recording should allow for more transparency. And with the enhancements we're seeing in blockchain 3, it should allow for more security. And you're beginning to see it used. There's, again, multiple companies in there. One of them that I've seen interesting use is one called WealthBlock, which is a software as a service platform where people raise money and automate it. It's blockchain and AI combined. Another interesting one in California that I was introduced to lately is a company that's using blockchain and AI to streamline the home loan process. And it's working for it, and it's even using a lot of places where blockchain is used for private investors to go and try to make those type of decisions. So beginning to go there. The other thing is you're beginning to see AI combined to do smart search on smart contracts, and the smart contracts are in blockchain. So that is something that's coming up really well on how to use it, how to move forward to it, and how those can be applied. And again, it's also moving from just the traditional, AI is moving from the traditional commercial side to AI in personal finance and AI in consumer finance more and more. So that's one of the biggest trends we see right now is beginning to move it to the person. And that's what we're seeing in the next version of the web, if you remember. The next version of web is becoming personalized more to the people versus just the large corporation. And AI in finance is going to move the same direction.
Mr. Jeffrey, you want to add any point regarding blockchain technology and artificial intelligence?
Yeah, like I guess Mr. David was saying, AI is already being used to track stocks and stuff in finance. I bet it could be used to track like cryptocurrency trading and price fluctuation and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how, I guess, AI could be used to help integrate and like help people understand blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, because still kind of a lot of people don't really understand it that well. And I really just started getting my crypto wallet like last year, a year or two ago. So I think it'll be great to see all the ways that crypto and AI can be streamlined together to make people's financial experience well and like much less hassle than you have to experience with finance now. So yeah, I think it'll be exciting to see those developments.
Professor David
Sharif,
Smith.
let me answer part of that directly, though. It can be used in there. Cryptocurrency, though, is still less than 5% of the global financial transactions. So while cryptocurrency is growing, and again, I'd rather use digital currency than the term cryptocurrency, because digital currency takes into account finite dollar flow, cash flow, as well as the cryptocurrency flow. But it definitely can be used there. One of the challenges with where blockchain has been used in cryptocurrency, though, is that there have been billions and billions and billions of cryptocurrency dollars lost because blockchains have been compromised, particularly with man-in-the-middle attacks. Also, there's billions and billions of dollars have been lost in cryptocurrency where people have forgotten the keys to their wallets or people die and no one else has their key, and access to that money in the cryptocurrency is blocked because cryptocurrency doesn't have the same regulatory view. It doesn't have the same rules as you have in traditional banking. And for cryptocurrency to grow more and more, it has to begin to adapt those rules. And AI can sure help in doing that.
Cool, thanks.
Professor David Smith, at present, we have a lot of financial challenge. Even we are observing some of the bank not functioning well in USA. So in that situation, how you want to analyze the financial market?
Oh, wow, Sharif, you saved the easy ones for me. No, I'm just kidding on that. The financial markets are really a study in chaos theory right now. Because if you look at the rules and the interactions, the finance industry is so integrated with others and there's a ripple effect. AI, once we develop the algorithms and get the data set up, we can use that to help us do risk management through these. The problem with the bank failures in Europe, the bank failures in the United States, and a couple of the bank failures in Asia and one in South America is they did not manage their risk well. And you heard me talking about earlier how AI as part of risk management is one of the growing areas that can be really good to use in this. But financial institutions in the time of rapid change with the pandemic, with the war in Europe, with the exchanging conflicts in the Middle East, with activities in other parts of the world, the activity around Taiwan is just making the world a very volatile place. And risk management has to step up to a new level, and particularly banks and non-government organizations moving money that we haven't seen in the past. In AI and machine learning and information recovery, for example, there's a company in Greece called Report Brain that has set up a model to retrieve information out of local news sources to manage risk for credit facilities, and it does it in 92 languages. So that is one of the things that has to happen for this to grow and be used more fully. But risk, if you look, for example, in the United States, the risk that caused the bank to fail here was known if they had just connected the dots, and they were not connecting the dots, and they were not using tools to do it.
Mr. Jeffrey, want to add any point?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think I've always wanted to have an AI financial assistant to like help me manage my money. I think that would be one of the greatest uses and applications of AI technology, because the amount of times I've spent too much money, or didn't or different ways to help invest my money, then I think, I mean, I don't want to say, because that would kind of tie into the problem of AI and taking over human like responsibility and stuff. So would that be a good invention or a bad invention? Because people wouldn't know how to like manage their money anymore. But at the same time, it could be something that's just so practical and helpful that and humanity is in such a need of it that it could outweigh the risks. So yeah.
Thank you, Professor David Smith. If you share some of your view about impact investment market.
Yeah, I mean, if I go and look at it, there's really a big growing demand between digital offering, traditional finance offerings, a threat of a lot of new startups globally beginning to look at this, how the financial industry is really beginning to move and to adapt digital services. We see that by the end of 2030, the IT budgets in fintech is going to grow probably by 60% to address them. The other thing we're seeing is generational, with millennials and Gen Z becoming very, very quickly the bank's largest addressable consumer group, at least in the United States. The financial institutions are really being pushed to increase their IT and particularly AI budgets and mobile budgets to meet higher digital standards. Millennials, Gen Z, they prefer digital banking. Over 85% of millennials in GC say they are never going to go to a branch office, and most of them haven't. And while you look at this migration from traditional banking channel to online and mobile banking, and the pandemic dramatically accelerated, there's growing opportunities to really make that change and make that adoption. And it's going to be critical for the industry. And Sharif, there's tremendous opportunities for startups, and particularly in developing countries where the rules tend to be more country-centric than a global standard. Tremendous opportunities in developing country for startups and others to take the freely available AI tools. And because what's interesting is these AI tools, many of them are in the public domain. And to integrate them into products to meet the unique financial, the unique banking needs, the advanced retail finance needs in the developing nations. And like I said, tremendous opportunities for local startups to do that.
Besides that, right now for war and for COVID situation, every country has economic challenges. So how AI can help to understand the future of the financial market or the future of the economic situation for a specific country or for industry?
Well, Sharif, that's one of the places where we talked about earlier, where because AI can ingest these huge amounts of data and this trend data, you can look at both the internal data, you can go out and look across the internet at all the news that's being used. You can generate it from news organizations. You can go and pull information from central banks. In looking at loan default rates, look at others like that. You can go and get announcements of, for example, of industry expansion, economic development. All that data can be pulled into these large models to begin to model that. And organizations are beginning to create digital twins of the environments you just described, Sharif, so that they can run simulations against that. They can run scenarios and see how changes alter the outcomes of those scenarios. Scenario processes used to be a manual process decades ago. They've really become very digital now and very fast. And with these larger data sets, they can become more accurate and accurate over time. And that's how they go and to begin to manage those risks and take care of those opportunities. So I that's really my answer to it, is it's there, it's being used. And because AI is becoming so pervasive, and large learning models, those LLMs we talked about before, and access to all this other data is so much in the public domain, this is becoming more available to small companies in smaller countries as well.
Mr. Jeffrey, you want to add any point?
Yeah, definitely. So, as far as AI and finances, there's a big issue, I suppose, of the data ownership and royalty rights. People are saying that they deserve and demand from being the AI trained on all that data. All the
And
different
Kelly, that's
AI.
the best way, is to put words in the RFP that give us advantage. We can do that.
So what? Yeah. So yeah, I was saying yeah, that's another part of the AI and finance discussion, that is the data. Everyone's saying I deserve to get paid for the data that the AI is being trained on. And I had another thing I was thinking about, but yeah, sure, from there.
Professor David Smith, like I know that you have very important meeting. So what's your concluding remarks, or how we can predict the future through AI?
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay, Sharif. My comments really on the future of it is really pretty straightforward. Is that we know we're seeing accelerated digital transformation in the finance industry, and that's going to do nothing but increase. We're seeing really very, very enhanced data sets that we talked about. We're seeing very advanced process automation. So we're seeing that this is going to be a real important driver for technology innovation in the financial industry. We're seeing that fintech has been one of the hottest areas for investment from companies going forward. We're seeing an industry that's evolving tremendously. A lot of examples and how it's using. So some of the things we're going to see in the advances are huge advances in customer service because of artificial intelligence in finance. We're going to see tremendous advances in customer service. We're going to see new standards for security. Passwords and usernames will disappear from the financial businesses faster than almost any other area in using the new factor, the biometrics and others, and to get away from it. Passwords, like I said, will disappear in finance faster than almost any other place. We're also going to see AI used in fintech and finance tremendously for guidance and to help look at ways to do it. It doesn't have to be machine learning today. It can also be rules-based AI and virtual assistants giving recommendations on how to change portfolios, how to do other things, how to do insurance services, how to do risk management. So you're seeing that. So this type of automation, this type of AI, this use of chatbots, all of this is enabling the whole finance industry to recreate itself, to transform itself. So we're seeing AI has already transformed many industries, and finance is going to have a huge impact in there. So, Sharif, that's my concluding remarks.
Thank you, Professor. Mr. Jeffrey, what's your concluding remarks for today's session?
Yeah, I was actually had a question for Mr. David. Is everyone talks about AI, but I like how you were saying how it's different data sets. I was wondering what kind of like how do you go from data sets into an artificial intelligence system, and just a little bit on how those would like help financial stuff. Yeah, doing AI.
I think Professor David Smith is busy. He has an important meeting. So, Mr. Jeffrey, if you give the concluding remarks, if he can, I think he can add something.
Okay. Yeah. I guess AI is gonna help us get everyone prosperity
Yeah, and Greg, it's
and
easy for us to integrate ChatGPT directly too. We can integrate theirs as well.
yeah. AI is gonna help us get rich, everyone, and that's my concluding remark.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's session. Thank you. Bye bye, and take care.